Do you remember the summers of your childhood? They felt like their own lifetime, an endless, glorious expanse of long, sun-soaked days that stretched on forever. The final week of school before the holidays felt like a year. The wait for your birthday felt like an eternity. Time was something you had in abundance. It was a vast open field you could run through freely. Now, think about last summer. Think about last year. Where did it go? It feels like you blinked, and it was gone. The weeks blur together into an indistinct haze. The months vanish without a trace, and you find yourself uttering that familiar phrase, "I can't believe it's October already." This isn't just a feeling. It's not your imagination playing tricks on you. It's a real, universal, and scientifically documented phenomenon. As we get older, our subjective experience of time accelerates dramatically. But why? Is time itself changing, or is something fundamental changing inside of us? Today, we're going to solve this profound mystery. We'll explore the intricate neuroscience and deep psychology behind our perception of time, why your brain is playing this cruel trick on you, and most importantly, we'll reveal the practical, science-backed methods you can use to reclaim your time, to stretch it out, and to make life feel long, rich, and full again. So, why did those childhood days feel so incredibly long and memorable? The primary reason, and this is the cornerstone of understanding time perception, has to do with novelty and the way our brains are wired to form memories. When you're a child, almost everything is a first. Your first day of school, your first bike ride without training wheels, the first time you see the ocean and feel the sand between your toes, the first time you taste a truly spicy food. Your brain is in a state of constant high-alert discovery. It's like a documentary filmmaker's camera, recording everything in stunning 4K detail because it doesn't know yet what's important and what isn't. It has to capture everything to build its map of the world. Neuroscientifically, your brain is dedicating immense resources to this process. Key regions of memory formation, like the hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex, are working overtime, creating rich, dense, and highly detailed memories of these new experiences. Because so many new, distinct memories are being encoded every single day, when you look back on a single week of your childhood, it feels packed with unique events, characters, and emotions. That density of new memories is what gives your past the subjective feeling of length and richness. A childhood summer feels long because, in terms of new neural information processed and stored, it was incredibly long. Now, let's contrast that with your adult life. This brings us to the second key concept and the main culprit behind our vanishing time: routine and neural adaptation. As an adult, your life is by necessity dominated by routine. You likely drive the same route to work every day, sit in the same chair, perform similar tasks at your job, interact with the same group of people, eat a rotation of the same few meals, and watch the same kinds of shows in the evening. Your brain, being an incredibly efficient and energy-conserving organ, recognizes these repeating patterns. It says, "I've seen this before. I've processed this 1,000 times. There is no new information here. I don't need to waste precious energy recording this in high definition." Your brain essentially shifts from being a high-definition recorder to being on autopilot. It uses what scientists call chunking or compression. It takes that entire familiar 45-minute commute and compresses it into a single low-resolution mental file labeled commute. This is a phenomenon known as neural adaptation. Your brain stops paying close attention to the details because it has already created a mental shortcut for the experience. The consequence of this efficiency is profound and deeply unsettling. Because your brain is forming far fewer new and distinct memories, entire weeks or months can go by with very little new data being stored. When you look back on the past month, it can feel like an indistinct blur with few memorable peaks to distinguish one day from the next. It's this lack of memory density that makes time feel like it's slipping through your fingers like sand. A year as an adult feels short because, in terms of novel memories created, it was relatively empty. There's also a simpler, more mathematical theory that works alongside this, known as the proportional theory of time. For a 5-year-old, 1 year is a staggering 20% of their entire life. It's a huge, significant chunk of their existence. For a 50-year-old, 1 year is only 2% of their life. As we age, each unit of time represents a progressively smaller fraction of our total lifespan. So subjectively, it feels shorter and less significant in comparison. But recent science suggests there's another, even deeper physiological reason this happens. It's not just about memory, it's about the very processing speed of your brain itself. A fascinating theory proposed by Duke University professor Adrian Bajan suggests that our neural processing speed, the rate at which our brain can perceive and process sensory information, actually slows down as we get older. Think of your brain's perception as a camera. When you're young, that camera is capturing a very high number of frames per second. It's taking in a huge amount of information all the time, creating a smooth, detailed perception of reality. As you age, for a variety of physical reasons, from the natural degradation of neural pathways to changes in brain chemistry, that frame rate begins to drop. The result: in the same period of objective clock time, your adult brain is perceiving and processing fewer distinct moments or frames than your child brain did. So when you look back on an event, fewer frames were captured in your memory, and your brain interprets this as the event having passed more quickly. The movie of your life feels like it's playing in fast forward because your internal camera is, in a sense, recording it more slowly. So, if our brain's changing relationship with memory, its love of routine, and even its own slowing processing speed are conspiring to make time accelerate, are we doomed? Are we destined to feel like life is just slipping away faster and faster until the end? The answer, thankfully, is a resounding no. The science that explains the problem also gives us the solution. We can't get more hours in the day, but we can absolutely change our perception of the time we have. We can stretch it, fill it, and make it feel rich and expansive again. Here are 3 practical, science-backed strategies to slow down time. First, actively and intentionally seek novelty. This is the direct antidote to the problem of routine and neural compression. You have to consciously and deliberately give your brain new, unexpected things to record in high definition. This doesn't mean you have to quit your job and backpack across Asia, though that would certainly work. It can be much smaller and more accessible. Take a different route on your daily walk or commute. Try cooking an elaborate recipe from a cuisine you've never even heard of. Spend a weekend afternoon exploring a neighborhood in your own city you've never been to. Sign up for a class to learn a skill that you're curious about, but feel you'd be bad at: pottery, a new language, coding, ballroom dancing. Each of these small acts of novelty forces your brain off autopilot. It creates new, rich memories, adding that precious density back into your life that makes time feel full and long again. Second, practice deep, focused presence and mindfulness. This is the antidote to neural adaptation and a low frame rate. Instead of letting your brain tune out your routine experiences, you can choose to consciously pay attention to them. This is the core practice of mindfulness. When you're drinking your morning coffee, don't scroll through your phone. Actually taste the coffee. Notice the warmth of the mug, the aroma, the specific notes of the flavor. When you're talking to a friend or partner, put your phone away, all the way away, and truly listen. Make eye contact. Pay attention to their tone of voice, their body language. When you're doing a task, even a boring one like washing the dishes, try to do just that one thing without multitasking. By being fully present in the moment, you are forcing your brain to process the experience in high detail. You are turning what would have been a low-resolution, compressed experience into a high-resolution, memorable one, creating a stronger neural trace and, in turn, stretching your subjective sense of time. Experienced meditators, for example, consistently report that time feels slower both during practice and in their everyday lives. Third, create moments of awe and strong emotion. Our brains don't just remember new things, they remember emotionally significant things. Intense emotions, especially awe, wonder, joy, and even healthy fear, act like a powerful highlighter on our memories, making them incredibly vivid and easy to recall. Think about the most memorable moments of your life. They are almost always tied to a strong emotion. You remember the awe of watching a total solar eclipse, the overwhelming joy of a wedding, the adrenaline of a challenging hike, or a public speaking event. These emotional peaks serve as powerful anchors in our personal timeline. A life with many of these anchors feels long, textured, and significant. A life with few feels flat, monotonous, and short. So, you must intentionally schedule opportunities for awe. Go hiking and watch the sunset from a mountaintop. Visit a museum or an art gallery and stand in front of a piece of art that truly moves you. Listen to a piece of music that gives you goosebumps. Plan an adventurous activity that pushes you slightly but safely out of your comfort zone. These moments don't just make life more interesting, they literally make it feel longer. So, here's my challenge to you. This week, I want you to pick just one of these strategies and commit to it with your full attention. Option 1. The Novelty Challenge. Do one small thing you have never done before. Option 2. The Presence Challenge. Pick one routine daily activity and do it with your full, undivided attention as if it's the most important thing in the world. Option 3. The Awe Challenge. Go out of your way to experience one moment of awe, whether it's in nature, art, or human connection. Then come back to this video and leave a comment sharing which challenge you chose and what you experienced. Let's create a community dedicated to reclaiming our time. If this video gave you a new perspective on your own life, please hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the science of living a better, more intentional life. The clock on the wall will always keep ticking at the same speed. But with the right tools and the right mindset, you have the power to change how it feels. You can't stop time, but you can absolutely learn to slow it down.